Governor Ahmadu Umaru Fintiri of Adamawa State has flagged off disbursement of 50,000 naira grant to 10,000 women under the Fintiri Business Wallet across the 21 local government areas of the state. The program, which is the second batch of the empowerment program, will promote the growth of micro, small and medium enterprises among women folk in Adamawa State. At the event which held at Mahmoud Ribadu Square, Yola, on Thursday, Governor Fintiri asked each of the women beneficiaries to use the grant to either support or start up trading.
Members and boards of commissions, our chairman of council of the 21 local government areas, SSA, SS, stakeholders, of particular to mention here is the immediate past Vice Chancellor of the Modibo Adamawa University, Professor Liman Tukur, mata musamman wanda Allah ya kawo ku yau za ku samu wannan tallafi, barkanku da zuwa. Gentlemen of the press, this is indeed another great day for our hard-working mothers and sisters in Adamawa State. The formal flag-off of the disbursement of the second Fintiri Business Wallet is one in the series of many social investment efforts innovated by this administration to roll back poverty, unleash prosperity, and promote the growth of micro, small and medium enterprise among our women folk in Adamawa State. The Fintiri Business Wallet is a point where about 3 cardinal items on the 8-point agenda converge. This is a point where youth and women development meets poverty alleviation and commerce. It is equally a point where our women are empowered to conquer their fears, float a trade, and cater for their households. The significance of today's event is a further reinforcement of our ingenious belief that the instrument for poverty alleviation must be institutional in both concept and operation, while avoiding the all unsustainable routes of dishing out handouts to a politicized minority in the name of palliatives. This administration created the Ministry of Entrepreneurship with the mandate to engender innovation, provide skills, and hatch out business owners at every level. We also created the Agency for Poverty Alleviation and Wealth Creation, PAWECA, to not only combat poverty and its associated ignorance, but build an institutional framework to support entrepreneurship and restore the human dignity of a large segment of our population. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, in the past 5 years, we have not only been carefully strategic in our poverty alleviation and wealth creation drive, but methodically deliberate and purposeful. Through our skill development corridor, we have trained over 45,000 youths in various trades and provided them with starter packs to set up their own businesses. For the past 5 years, we have kept over 30,000 beneficiaries on monthly stipend of 10,000 throughout our social investment corridor. Last year, we launched the Fintiri Business Wallet for our women. This is a commerce corridor which reinforces our commitment to wrestle poverty and open the doors of thousands of our households to life-saving businesses and prosperity. What makes this corridor a unique product is its deliberate focus on women, starting with a grant of 50,000 naira to each of the 10,000 beneficiaries across the 21 local government areas of the state. The corridor has so far empowered at least 10,000 women petty traders. Today, we are disbursing another 50,000 to each woman in the second batch of the beneficiaries to either support or start up your trading. What this means is that going by the UN definition of household, meaning a woman and 4 other persons eating from the same pot, we shall be empowering about 4,000 households, holding not less than 100,000 persons annually. This indeed is huge onslaught against poverty. The Ministry of Entrepreneurship has also been following up on each beneficiary to provide the necessary entrepreneurial support and running a trader clinic that guarantees the health and well-being of the trades. We shall continue to build the capacity of our market women in key areas of trade and bookkeeping. Globally, micro businesses have been recognized as the engine of economic development and growth. Access to finance to empower such engine has been a huge challenge, especially for the operators at this level. The challenge is double-fold for women as it becomes feminized by credit conditions imposed by lending institutions and the nature of the businesses which sinks large population of the women folk. Most women enterprises are micro in size and operate in the informal sector. The nature and size of a majority of women's enterprises automatically make them vulnerably excluded from credit facilities. Yet, they remain the lifeware of most households. Majority of our families are sustained by the businesses run by these hard-working women. As a government, we shall continue to do our best to empower our women and make them financially stable. Financially stable to our mothers automatically translate to family stability. It means more food on the table, more nutrition, more health, more children in the schools, and a better society. This is partly our own definition of good governance, where no one is left behind and nothing is left untouched. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, while working hard to boost the income level of our household through this corridor, I want to reassure you that this administration is by all means sensitive to the hard times and economic crunch that a large population of our citizens are passing through. The situation in the country is definitely a tough time for everyone. The onus is on all of us, the government and the private sector, to innovate in crafting deliberate cushioning measures that will ease the hardship and build our resilience as we struggle to navigate this phase. As an administration, we saw this coming and decided to be proactive in our design of mitigation measures. Through our ICT for Empowerment corridor, we are training over 100,000 youths with the necessary skills for survival. Early this year, we just ran the intra and intercity mass transit system with our deployment of 10 luxurious buses. This has cushioned the effect of transportation hardship on our people. Having seen the impact of mass public transport, we have decided to scale up the scheme by procuring additional 31 mass transit luxurious buses. Today, I'm happy to tell you that I'm handing over these buses to the concerned operators for onward deployment to our roads and usage of our people. We are also going to allocate a substantial number of the buses to our schools to fix the harsh transportation hardship experienced by our students. With the debate on the new minimum wage settled, we intend to recruit more applicants into the civil service of the state. On this note, I want to congratulate today's beneficiaries of the Fintri Business Wallet and the entire citizens of the state, who by plying the buses will enjoy easy commuting. I reassure everyone in Adamawa that our best is yet to come. Ina so in tabbatar muku mata cewa mu rike ku da mutunci, muna ganin mutuncinku, kuma mun san cewa wannan tallafi da muka baku zai nuna cewa za a samu abinci a gida, za a tabbatar yara sun koma makaranta kuma suna makaranta, kuma za a yi sana'a da kyau, kuma a tabbatar an inganta wannan sana'a, saboda kowane mace ɗaya za ta iya kula da 'ya'ya da iyali kusan guda 4 zuwa 6 a kowane gida. Ina so in tabbatar muku kuma har yanzu kaman ba mu soma ba, yanzu muka fara. Duk abinda zai taimaka mu kore mu yake talauci a wannan jiha ita ce muka sa a gaba, kuma ita ce za mu yi. Kuma ba za mu tsaya a nan ba, za mu kula da 'ya'yanku, za mu koya musu sana'a, za mu ba su dukiya su yi sana'a, kuma za mu ba su tallafin yin wannan sana'a. Har yanzu kuma ina so in tabbatar muku cewa duk 'ya'yanmu da suka yi karatu tun da yanzu an gama zancen minimum wage, za mu ɗauke su a aiki saboda civil service namu ta samu cin gaba. Daga ƙarshe ba ma yaudara, ku iyayenmu ne, kuma da ku muke gadara. Nan da minti 5 zuwa 10 kowannenku za ta samu wannan 50,000. Da wannan nake gode muku, kuma Allah ya kawo zaman lafiya, Allah ya kawo damuna mai albarka, Allah ya kore talauci a Adamawa da Najeriya. Mun gode, Allah ya saka, Allah ya mai da ku gida lafiya.
To salute the women of Adamawa State, to greet the women of Adamawa State, the beneficiaries today of this giant
My perception of the governor is someone who says and he does what he says. He makes promises to the citizens and he ensures he fulfills those promises. So he's a talk-and-do governor. That's my perception about him.
Well, I think I will start by stating that I've worked for him for more than 5 years. I was the head of service when he came in during his first term in office. So I've worked for him, with him as head of service, then chief of staff. But even before then, I've been a civil servant throughout the lifetime of this state as a state, because I was a civil servant before the state was created. So I'm in a position to be able to provide a comparative analysis of the different administrations that have ruled Adamawa State since its inception. Working with Ahmadu Umaru Fintiri, I found him, first of all, to be very knowledgeable about the state, about its challenges, about its demography, about its challenges and how to move it forward. He's been a grassroots politician, he's been acting governor, he's been a legislator. So I found him to be someone who has a thorough grasp of the situation in the state. I've also found him to be a very committed person in terms of trying to solve those challenges and move the state forward. He applies himself wholeheartedly, almost like a missionary, with choleric zeal in terms of trying to transform the state and take it to the height it deserves to be.
The government are really doing good with the fresh air, with this bus, because so many people, like now if you say someone should travel to Yola, 7,000 naira is too cost. So with people, because of the way things are cost and everything is just going high, everything is just going high. People will prefer fresh air, and I think the government are really doing a very great job giving us these buses.
You can see 3 buses are in the queue now to evacuate maybe around 200 and something passengers. If there is no fresh air, nobody can afford to travel with this all. I recommend him not only because he brought fresh air, this traveling bus, but at so many angles he's trying.
Fresh air is cheaper, more comfortable, and I like it. I like traveling in luxurious car, and it is cheaper and it's more affordable than the other cars. Well, so far the government have tried, and I think they can also do more because they are capable. I think when they give more of these cars, I think things will be more easier.
In terms of road infrastructure, what Governor Ahmadu Fintri has done in Yolo North local government alone is 10 times more than any other local government. There are certain areas that are not, you can't ply them before, but every place is tarred now. Are you talking about renewing Bekaji Housing Estate, which is still within my local government? Everywhere is tarred. I'm talking about the down part of Jimeta, the Ajia ward. About 5 roads that links or that covers Ajia Road. They are all tarred now, fully drainaged. Are you talking about street lights to complement the road works there? This is in terms of infrastructural development. Now, due to lack of time, in terms of infrastructure development, I think I would stop here. But he has virtually touched on every sector, like I told you. Is it on health? Is it on education or agri? And or empowerment? On health, we know that the Primary Healthcare Development Agency of the state is one of the best in the country, and that they have working tirelessly for the benefit of the state in general. But we benefit the more situated, because we are situated within the state capital. And very recently, Ahmadu Fintri is embarking on upgrading and renovating our health centers. And 5 health centers within your local government will very soon be upgraded.
Saboda abubuwan da Fintiri ya yi mana, mun ji daɗin shi. Duka area nan gaba daya ba wanda baya mori shi, suna jin daɗi abubuwan da ya yi mana. Suna samu tamako da tamako kala-kala dai suna samu ana, suna jin daɗi sosai.
Poverty cannot be eradicated, but poverty can be managed. Poverty can be reduced. I give an instance. I just came back from Rwanda like 2 months ago. We went, the government sponsored us to go and see how they were able to reduce their own poverty. And true, they had reduced their poverty so much and that was because there was a purposeful leader. And that's what we have in Adamawa State. We have a purposeful leader in the person of His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Adamawa State. He is purposeful. If you give purposeful leadership, you can reduce poverty to its barest minimum. I told you he is training, he wants to train at least another 100,000 youth in different fields. With that, with little push, you know that 100,000 plus more than 50,000 he had trained. What kind of a reduction? He will barely reduce poverty. And with the 50,000, this year alone, he's giving more than 60,000 people, 50,000 to small businesses. Come on, we have done His Excellency has done marvelously well.
Good governance is your right, and that is what we have all sworn to give you. That is what is our trademark in Adamawa State. As a government, we don't really need to protest you don't need to protest to remind us of this sacred responsibility. We are doing our best to cushion the effect of your hardship. We are particularly conscious of the disturbing youth bulge with a growing unemployment rate that is alarming. We saw this coming. At the inception of this government, we did a study on this, and our revelation was that no government can take all the army of the youths into its employment. Even if it can, in this age of enterprise, creativity, and entrepreneurship, it is the dumbest decision to take. We therefore created the Ministry of Entrepreneurship to build the capacity of our youth to innovate, own, and manage investment successfully. We have trained and are retraining many youths who are willing to be off the streets and creating enabling environment for SMEs to strive. Fellow students, since our assumption, we have made education in our public schools free. For the past 5 years, we have equally taken up the responsibility of paying WAEC, NECO, and other examination fees for the students in public schools off the shoulders of the parents and guardians. This we shall continue to sustain. We are building 21 model primary and junior secondary schools across the state, one in each of the 21 local government areas. To offtake the product of these model schools, we have concluded the plan to build 3 senior science and technical mega schools, one in each of the senatorial zone. We are definitely achieving much success in our schools' enrollment drive, to the admirations of our partners in the campaign. The past 5 years have seen us investing heavily in health sector. Our hospitals are now better off than they have been ever before. We built and made operational more cottage hospitals in all the local governments without secondary health facilities. Working with the local governments, we have made the primary health care facilities optimally functional with the right personnel and drugs. Fellow students, this is not the moment for stock taking, but it is definitely an opportunity to tell you what we have done and what we are doing for you, in as much as we do know that some of these things are better felt than told. It is our duty to engage you just as it is your right to know. We must not pretend that everything is right. We must also be able to tell you honestly what is within our current capacity as a subnational government. Gentlemen of the press, I must thank you all for the lead role the media has played so far in the balanced reportage of the situation in Adamawa State. I must thank my team, especially the Deputy Governor and the entire Cabinet, and the leadership of our local government areas, whose major assignment as chief security officers of their respective local government has come to bear. This concerted effort at managing citizens' grievances and entrenching peace in our land. Above all, I must thank our greatest partners in the peace enterprise, the security agencies, the Army, the police, the DSS, the civil defense, and all other agencies who have not only played by the rules and is civil enough to manage the protesters where they exist, but gave us the larger majority, the assurance of security and peace to continue with our daily businesses. Once again, thank you for being civil. Thank you for the trust. This is the hallmark of every ideal democracy. God bless Adamawa State. God bless Nigeria. Thank you.